Right, so welcome back to Adventure 82. As I said, this is a bit more of a camping video. So we've been planning for a while to go and do some camping, wild camping if you like, just me and Erica. We got a Vivord tent for the family, which we're planning on using for the first time during the summer holidays, so that'll be coming at some point. But what we want to do first is try out some camping on our own. So for that purpose, we've been doing some research and been faffing about. Popped down to Erica's favourite shop in the whole wide world, which is Go Outdoors. She's got their membership card, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
I get discounts.
And what we've been and got is a Phoxx 3. Now I've seen the Phoxx 1. I've seen a couple of reviews of that on YouTube, and the 2. I've not seen one for the 3. But my reviews when I was looking up there, that was like about a month and a half ago, so maybe I've missed one. So this, as far as I'm aware, is a first look for the Phoxx 3 as far as YouTube's concerned. Let's get it up and have a look. Right, so I've put one in. I'll do the other one in a moment. Just want to show you. So you've got 2 loops like that you thread your pole through, like this. And then you just got these clips at the side. And you just pop those on your pole like that. So the whole tent only actually has the 2 poles. This one here, which I'm about to put on, and this one here. And then, case of kind of tossing it out and pegging it out. So the small one goes at the front, as far as I can tell. Either way, it's where the little window is here, see? And that will pop out the other end like that. And then what we need to do, you've got like a little orange bit on the end of the strap there. That just hooks into there. Most of you will already know this, I bet you. But those go camping. But for those who don't, it might be handy to know. This is what our class is like the foot end. Well, at least if you're me anyway. It's the head end for most people, to be fair, unless you're probably one of Santa Claus's elves. So we've done that. Put the other one in. Like that. Last clip. Fly sheet comes ready attached, which is quite handy out the bag. So I've untied one side so you could see what I was doing with the clips. But then you've also got little buttons underneath which match up with these orange loops here to button the fly sheet on as well. But I'll just tie this one back on now. And that just goes on there. I normally find it quite handy if you tie it around the pole as well. Just kind of helps keep everything secure, if I'm honest. Like that. Chuck your fly sheet over. And we just need to peg it out. Right, tent's now up. You can see it's not a massive footprint. It's quite cool this way. You've got your vent there, which is always handy. You can actually, you've got a little foam pad there so you to stick it open. Like that. And that'll then give you some good ventilation, which is obviously handy if you don't want to get attack of condensation. The nice thing I liked about this one of the reasons we got it, is because both sides you can do like this. So you end up with like a little porch area where you can both cook, but you can also put your bags and stuff there to keep them out of the rain, but not have them actually inside the tent, which I think is quite handy. Or, as I will now show you, you can also unhook that, and you can put that up like that on a nice day. You can have kind of like a little open porch area and use that as a bit of a windshield depending which way around you put your tent as well, which is quite handy. So that's quite cool. The space inside is really good. Let's actually put that open for a moment. Excuse me for a moment whilst I put this down. See, then you have options here where you can just roll it out the way. If we open it up, you can see it's quite roomy inside, to be fair. So I'll just open it up. Doesn't want to behave. So I haven't zipped up the inside on the other side because there's no point, we're not using it. I'm just showing you guys. But you can see that that's the head end, and then the foot end is still quite spacious. There's a lot of room there for 2 people, which is what we wanted, because you don't want to be too cramped. And of course the green is obviously a handy colour anyway. It's a good tent from what I've been seeing and from what I've seen of the Phoxx 1, Phoxx 2, Phoxx 3. I'm looking forward to going and trying it out, actually, to be honest. So that's one thing that's happened with the camping. As you're also aware, though, we've been and bought a truck that was having some stuff done to it, to turn that into a south camper as well, which will also be used to take things like this out and about as well. So that needed to be fixed, because even if we weren't camping in the actual truck itself, we still needed it sorted out so that we could go and take the actual camping stuff out and go and do these trips. So I'll take to have a look at that next, and we'll have a look at what stuff we'll be taking as well. Right, so for those of you who weren't witnessing the first video, so I did a separate video, well, I've done 2 videos with this so far. One was picking it up, which was just a brief one. I did a separate video cleaning it all up, tidying it up, and cleaning inside, because it was minging. It was on a farm in the middle of Suffolk. It had 2 major problems. One was the anti-lock braking system wasn't working, which I fixed for some reason. The guy never put a fuse in. The other problem it had is that the chassis, right here, all this was rusted away. It was not attached to anything. And it was just kind of magically levitating. So that's all now been remade, repainted in special anti-rust paint to try and keep the rust off for even longer. And that's all been done and sorted. So massive thanks to Ben from AutoShine, who did that for me down in Leyburn. Brilliant job, I appreciate that, no end. So what this actually is, for those you don't know, it's a 95 Isuzu Trooper. Why this? Well, one is these are particularly known for being practically bulletproof. The other reason is the size of it. It's massive inside. So inside here, I folded these back seats up already so I can show you. I have quite a reasonably large area here, which I can use for a sleeping area. See, even the very back seats fold up out the way. Obviously, this is still in here at the moment because we're using it as a normal truck. If I was camping, I wouldn't. The other thing I like about this, it's got a little storage thing here, which is normally underneath these middle seats when they're down. For me to put basic kind of camping stuff in there so I don't have to keep taking everything in and out. So I'm thinking maybe storing some base stuff, like maybe some tea, coffee, maybe some, maybe like a standby gas refill maybe, or some burners, that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we're going to put in there. But that's one of the main reasons, is because of how big it is and how strong it is and easy to drive. So between the fact it's supposed to be bulletproof, which these things from the 2 I've had before, they really seem to be, it means that it probably is less likely to let me down any time I'm relying on it, which is always a good thing. And the space from the back, which if you look from this side, you can see just how big that is. That's massive. So if I get this stuff out the way, right, the other reason, so down to the stuff we've got is this kind of thing. See, I can leave this in here. So you've got one for me, one for Erica. These are, let me just open one up. These are kind of your standard little pots. Let me just stand this out for you, and then you won't have to keep watching me fiddle. There we go. So screw that in like that, and then I can put that there, and then we can angle you like that, and then you can see what I'm doing. So just one of these like this. It's a little cooking pot as well. So I've got my little cloth in there, a little spoon. Normally in here I have my trangia when I'm out, but the trangia's not in there at the moment, but that will be in there. And then Erica's one is the same thing. It's got a little cloth, a little spoon, but hers has actually got her gas burner in it, so I'm thinking I might keep these inside that little pouch. They're always there. You've got some tea, coffee. I might take a cup, we'll see. But I think that's quite handy to be able to use that kind of stuff, and keep that kind of stuff in the truck. I think that's really quite useful. What I'll do now though is I'll show you what other stuff we've got to take with us, because I'm quite interested in input from anybody else in the camping community, because obviously we're quite relatively new to this, and I may well be missing something that you guys would say is obvious, but to me might not be. Right, so this is kind of like our little odds and sods room. There's a bit of all sorts in here, including my console collection, but we'll ignore that, it's got nothing to do with camping. So, the plan we go camping is to take what we think is the basic stuff. So we've got some pads there. We're not going to use those for sleeping on, but they're quite good for kneeling on the grass, keeping dry. Got a little Medipack there. I've got two of these mess tins. So I've got a more modern one there for Erica. My one's actually there is a World War II one, which I got from a friend of mine back in Jersey, Paul, which I'm really looking forward to actually cooking with that, I have to say. We've also got a travel towel, because Erica seems to think we'll need that. She's been stashing plastic knives and forks from restaurants and everything. She's really getting into that. We've got some little pans there, although we won't be taking those for the first camp, because we want to try and see what the dried meals are like. So we've got a range of those to try out when we go. I've been and bought a compass. We've got some sleeping pads and sleeping bags. That's all done. Obviously the Phoxx 3 there, which we're going to be taking with us, because obviously we've just seen that. So I think we basically got everything. So the plan is now is that we're waiting for the camping bags to come down, because me and Erica have each got a camping backpack to come down. We've also each got a little kind of lightweight camping chair to take with us. And then we're kind of good to go. As for a place where we're going to go first, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about either somewhere around here where we are, North Yorkshire. I'm thinking maybe like the Dales or something. Or possibly even going into maybe doing a first camp up in the Lake District by Lake Windermere, somewhere around there maybe. Because I've always wanted to visit the Lake District, and it seems like a lovely, lovely place to go. But whichever place we go to, I'm sure the camp will be interesting, and I'll obviously be taking you guys along with us. Right, so that's our update video for you on the camping scene. So, Phoxx 3 tent, I'm looking forward to actually giving you a proper insight as to what it's like to use once we've been out with it. So stay tuned for that one. The truck is all ready to go now, and I've shown you briefly what we've got to go up and camping with. So pretty basic video this week. I said it probably would be, as you can probably tell from my breathing just by putting up the tent. I'm still not quite 100% yet after being ill last week. But we'll be back to normal next week, and have a nice week, whatever it is you get up to, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Right, I can use mine.